The role of nuclear weapons in NATO-Russia relations. Nuclear weapons have played a significant role in NATO-Russia relations since the end of the Cold War. While the number of nuclear weapons in the world has decreased significantly since the peak of the Cold War, the possession of nuclear weapons by both NATO and Russia continues to shape the strategic calculus of both sides. In this analysis, we will examine the role of nuclear weapons in NATO-Russia relations. NATO's nuclear policy. NATO's nuclear policy is based on a concept known as nuclear sharing, which involves the deployment of nuclear weapons in Europe and the integration of these weapons into NATO's defense strategy. There are currently an estimated 150 nuclear weapons deployed in Europe, primarily in Germany, Belgium, Italy, the Netherlands, and Turkey. NATO's nuclear policy is based on the principle of extended deterrence, which involves the use of nuclear weapons to deter potential adversaries from attacking NATO member states. This policy is designed to provide reassurance to NATO's European allies, particularly in the face of Russian aggression. Russia's nuclear policy. Russia's nuclear policy is based on the principle of nuclear deterrence, which involves the use of nuclear weapons to deter potential adversaries from attacking Russia. Russia maintains a large nuclear arsenal, with an estimated 4,500 nuclear warheads, and has modernized its nuclear forces in recent years. Russia's nuclear policy is driven in part by a sense of insecurity and a perception that it is surrounded by potential adversaries. Russia's nuclear doctrine emphasizes the potential use of nuclear weapons in a wide range of scenarios, including in response to conventional military threats. Nuclear weapons and NATO-Russia relations. Nuclear weapons have played a significant role in shaping NATO-Russia relations in a number of ways. Some of the key issues to consider include 1. Deterrence. Both NATO and Russia see nuclear weapons as a key element of their deterrence strategies. The possession of nuclear weapons is seen as a way to prevent potential adversaries from attacking, and this has contributed to a sense of stability in the relationship between NATO and Russia. Arms control. There have been a number of arms control agreements between NATO and Russia over the years, including the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, INF, and the New START Treaty. These agreements have helped to reduce the overall number of nuclear weapons in the world, but there are concerns about the future of arms control in the current political climate. Risk of accidents or miscalculations. The possession of nuclear weapons also creates a risk of accidents or miscalculations that could lead to a nuclear exchange. This risk is particularly high in the context of tensions between NATO and Russia, and there have been a number of incidents in recent years that have highlighted this risk. Nuclear terrorism. The possibility of nuclear terrorism is also a concern in the context of NATO-Russia relations. The potential for terrorist groups to acquire nuclear weapons or materials is a significant threat, and this could have a major impact on the overall relationship between NATO and Russia. Analysis. The role of nuclear weapons in NATO-Russia relations is complex and multifaceted. While nuclear weapons have contributed to a sense of stability and deterrence in the relationship between NATO and Russia, they also create significant risks and challenges. One of the key challenges facing NATO and Russia is the risk of accidents or miscalculations that could lead to a nuclear exchange. The possession of nuclear weapons creates a significant risk of accidental or inadvertent use, particularly in the context of tensions and misunderstandings between the two sides. Another challenge facing NATO and Russia is the need to continue to work towards arms control and disarmament. While there have been a number of arms control agreements between the two sides over the years, the current political climate has made it difficult to make progress on this issue. It will be important for both sides to continue to engage in constructive dialogue and to find ways to reduce the overall number of nuclear weapons in the world. Finally, the threat of nuclear terrorism is a concern for both NATO and Russia. Looking forward, it will be important for both NATO and Russia to continue to engage in constructive dialogue on nuclear issues. This will require a willingness to address areas of disagreement and to find ways to reduce the overall risks associated with nuclear weapons. In conclusion, the role of nuclear weapons in NATO-Russia relations is complex and multifaceted. While nuclear weapons have contributed to a sense of stability and deterrence in the relationship between NATO and Russia, they also create significant risks and challenges. It will be important for both sides to continue to work towards arms control and disarmament, to reduce the risk of accidents or miscalculations, and to address the threat of nuclear terrorism. Ultimately, the stakes are too high to allow tensions to continue to escalate, and a more constructive and cooperative approach to nuclear issues is in the interest of both sides and the broader international community.